So, as I understand, it was a safety car. I can't see that it's a safety car, but there's a safety car right there, so we know it's a safety car. Finally, right. This is so annoying. So, something has clearly happened while I was gone, and that would seem to be that the Aston Martin of Ginger Coke has binned it. Probably only on lap 1 by the looks of it. On 1 lap old softs, maybe he had a change of wing, I'm not sure. Regardless, we have a safety car, and we have people stopping. So, Ricky X has stayed out on those medium tyres. Magnus seems, I'm assuming, has pitted from first and gone onto hards. Ricky X is not in a great position here, it must be said, because he will have to stop again, and his tyres might be suffering by this point already. But as it stands, Magnus, no, so I'm not calling him Magnus, Clark, yeah, it's Clark now, got to change with the times. Oh, I need to put the Discord, sorry, 1 second. Right, oh, we're going with Magnus because apparently he finally gets some banned soon on the main account. So it's still 2 Magnus in the lead, 2 Magnus is Clark, but 2 Magnus isn't in the lead because Ricky X is in the league. So I mean it's still confusing with it being Clark as Magnus, but just remember the only Merc in the race is Magnus, which is also Clark, but we're going with Magnus, because it'll be Magnus soon. Anyway, let's get past names, because that's a bit confusing. At the moment, though, Bert's disconnected. He probably wants an invite. Or has he just ghosted? I think he might be disconnected. Let me invite him. Let's have a look. He's not online. Never mind, he is. He's right there. Right. God, this is confusing. So, we're on lap 6 now. I think I missed about 5 of them. Someone died. Not much seems to have changed down the rest of the grid. Hyper might have had an incident. He's now in 10th. He started, I think, 5th. Days is 8th. We have actually lost a driver into this second restart because someone's PS Plus ran out halfway through. That was, the reserve from Tier 3 of Cayenne, the other Ferrari driver, who has now been replaced by Big Laudy, who is on a different account because I may have been told to kick him by accident. It's not unfortunate. But anyway, so, as it stands, hopefully we get some racing under green flags. If the safety car comes in this lap, I don't actually know how long it's been out. I'd imagine it comes in this lap. But I can't tell. So, no, it's not in this lap, is it? Well, we'll have another lap of this anyway. Actually no, because they're only on 1 lap old tyres. So this will be the last lap of the safety car. Finally. So, let's have a bit of a look at the Constructors' Championship while we wait, just on this final lap, because it's certainly just, if not more interesting at this point, because we've had that many reserves that just about every team has got some decent points on the board. So, if we have a look at it, at the moment, Alfa Romeo lead it on 54 points. None of their full-time drivers have won a race. Williams is in second on 45 points. Their lead driver, well, he could say lead driver, their driver with the most points of Mipio has more points than the team because he scored points when he was a reserve for a different team and is now a full-time for Williams. It's very confusing. Red Bull are third on 38, but the Constructors is certainly very close. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the way it works with all the reserves and how quickly people have been changing teams, it's a bit confusing, I must be honest. Actually, I think it's slightly broken. Ricky X also has more points than his team, which is good. How does this work, folks? I'm clueless, I've got to be honest. I don't know how this has been calculated. This is wrong. Okay, let's ignore that. The safety car is in this line. I'm not going through the Constructors' Championship again. What we will see is... sorry. Magnus on fresh hard tyres right behind Ricky X, who has yet to pit. We can see them right in the background on the left there. We'll turn the hood off. Actually, should we turn the hood off? We'll turn tyres off for the restart. And the gaps as well, as Ricky X, I think, has already gone there. Away, and that's the one driving. But Ricky X, with a decent restart here, is ahead of Magnus that one. And he does lead the way out front, but Magnus send one down the inside into turn one, he does. And it looks like he's got the move done there, but I think he was just in track limits. But the man on pole has already been freed off into this race, and Ricky X is now straight away under pressure from his championship rival of Mipio in the Williams. These are the two drivers that have scored more points than their teams have in the Constructors. Mipio has gone off there. No, Ricky X has gone slow. They're a virtual safety car. What? Okay, what's happened to Ricky X? I don't know what he's done. He just decided to stop, I guess. Questionable tactics, but I guess you do you. Maybe he really does have that little grip on his old mediums, but I'm guessing he's... Right, what's happened here? He's lost his front wing, that would be what's happened. So Ricky X's day has gone from bad to worse, and that puts Mipio in a great position for the championship, but not quite as good as Magnus, who has got 3 seconds in the space of a lap. That is quite incredible. I don't know if Ricky X picked up that damage into turn 1, or if he got it in sector 1. Maybe he had a collision with Magnus that we didn't quite catch, though I don't think he did. But yeah, that's pretty terrible for his races. Oh, I've not seen this camera before. Well, I mean, every day you learn something new, I guess. Anyway, no, let's get back to the race. Magnus is gone already. Let's look at the race for a second. Very much like real life. Where at the moment, Mipio is in second, championship leader, won a few of the last races. He's certainly got good pace. One has Magnus been there? Oh, he's been there. He's actually just as I was saying, he was doing so incredibly well, and he's wet. I mean, okay, he's just... I've got no words. Magnus has just binned it from the lead of 3.4 seconds. He had probably the best pace of anyone, and now he's out of the points with a DNF, but at least he had a lovely pole position to his name. But that, I'll be honest, that ended a lot quicker than expected. But currently, the championship top 2 giving us a lovely championship top 2 sandwich of the whole grid, while Ricky X is in 12th. Lucky nutshot, who I don't want to say it's his first race of the season, but I feel like that'd be rude if it is not his first race of the season. It's not his first race. He missed the last 2 rounds, which I've commentated on, but he did race in round 1 Spain, which I missed, where he scored 9 points. Oh, wait. No, he didn't score 9 points. He finished 9th with the fastest lap, sorry. And we've got a virtual safety car. I've got no clue what caused that, but I'm guessing it's that ghosted Alpine. Oh, who has he got damage? No. Oh, was that a McLaren in the background just spinning? I think we've just witnessed the McLaren of Blitztroop send it into the final wall. I just thought I saw something in the background there. That'll be interesting to see on the stream. Yeah, this race has completely changed face in the matter of a lap there from Magnus. Absolutely face planting turn 3. I think he might have just clipped the inside wall a bit too much. You know, that age-old thing of hitting the apex a little bit too well, to the point where you hit the apex. And he is out of the race. Under that VSC, Ricky X has chose to pit, and I believe he changed his front wing. Back 2 has lost his front wing, maybe that was the cause of the VSC. But we're racing again, and Mipio has built up a 3-second gap out front. That is, well, that was quick. F1 CCNZ did have the, well, of all people that are still alive in this race, F1 CCNZ was 4 tenths ahead of them. He was 6 tenths behind Magnus, but that doesn't matter now, he's just lost a position. I really shouldn't say these things. I mean, maybe he doesn't have the pace I thought he did, but maybe this is a case of different tyres. It is a case of different tyres. Days is on the mediums. Days, who last time out in Italy had brilliant pace, never got to show it because of him being absolutely murdered by the current DNF car of Nakal, who I believe maybe he was the cause of that VSC. I really need to pay better attention. But anyway, as it stands, we've got a lovely fight on track here for 2nd place. It would have been 3rd place, but Magnus decided to change that and just gift everyone an extra position from the lead. But yeah, Mipio is having a lovely time out front. Though, as we've seen so far, being just over 3.4 seconds out front does not mean you'll stay there for very long. And in Magnus's case, that ended for him in about 3.4 seconds. As in the background, we've actually seen F1 CCNZ lose a position to Days. No, not Days, Hyper, the other Red Bull. The Red Bulls who have probably been the closest driver pairing on the grid since Bergeron has just disappeared since Hungary, where both McLarens were in a great place. But yeah, at the and Days has got past yeah, I'm paying better attention. Time to sit up, I think, for this. Days may be the man that can challenge this race and give us a bit of excitement as he looks to hunt down the Williams of India. Days is on mediums. He'll probably have to stop again if he wants to get to the end comfortably, or at least in any kind of quick manner. Because he is on mediums compared to most guys on the hards at the moment. Big Laudy, also known as Mercedes AMG F122, who I may have accidentally kicked, who's on the softs, and he's not on the softs anymore because he is pit for the hards. I wonder if that was front wing damage, maybe just a routine stop. He was on those softs for 8 laps, but he will come out probably in 8th place. At this point in the race, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to score a point, so I'm sure that everyone will throw this with probably a bit less caution than usual, as Back2 is going to come in for his 4th stop of the race. Is this his 3rd stop? I don't know if it's ticked over yet. I think this is his 4th stop of 12 laps, unless he's going to retire. But let's get the gap back because I accidentally turned the interval off. Sorry about that. As it stands, Mipio is just keeping Days a constant gap. We've got the lovely camera as well. Seems that EA have put more into designing the outside of the track than they have the physics model. Of course they've done a decent job with that this year, but the servers can't handle themselves, so what does it matter? As we've got a good fight here between F1 CCNs on the sister Red Bull on Hyper, and that's not a fight we can go as it is the McLaren that is Hyper in a straight line right there, and that is a terrible pun, I'm never saying that one again. But Lucky Nutshot does have very good pace here. He did finish with the fastest lap in Spain, and it looks like he's quite quick on track here, as he has taken 10 down. Hopefully we have a fight for the lead here, that would be absolutely lovely. Though in all honesty, I think it might be a bit unlikely. Anyway, do we have any fights still going on around the grid? We do, because this one between the McLaren of F1 CCNZ and the Red Bull Hyper is still continuing. Once again, as it is often the case with tier 2, the only on-track battles are in the top 5 positions, as if you're not there, you usually have lost a win. But here, that Red Bull is going to choose to back out there into turn, I want to say 13, I don't think it's 13, but I'm going with 13. Let's see if we can get the nice camera. We cannot. Does anyone have the nice camera? Yeah. But still, I have a feeling this fight might continue to the end, because it is near impossible to break DRS in Jeddah, as we see Hyper with a big moment out of the last turn. I'd say what turn number it is, but I don't know how many turns there are here. I really need to, I'm going to do research next week as we see them go side by side in turn 1, F1 CCNZ with some good defending there, and for now he's going to stay ahead. But we'll keep an eye as well on this battle for second. Oh god, I'm tired. I'm so sorry. Lucky Nutshot is still in with a chance here. That gap to Nipio just staying about the same at the moment, as they might be side by side there, and I've missed it once again. Between the Red Bull of Hyper, the Red Bull for once, not 1 and 2, they're 2 and 5, always near the front at least, and the McLaren of F1 CCNZ. I really need to figure out a way to say these names short, honestly. What should we go with? I don't know, I can't call them F1, that'd be a bit too general I think. I'll figure this out for next week actually. But at the moment, everything is sort of settling out here. Lucky Nutshot just about to fall out of DRS, though he does have it at the moment, but he's certainly on the edge of no longer having it on days. The Red Bull of Hyper is still very oh, F1 CCNC's had a massive moment there coming out of the last corner, and that has given Hyper, sorry, it's not Days, is it? It's Hyper. That has given Hyper the perfect opportunity to get past, and with the DRS he's managed to pull already a full second ahead with how much NZ works, with how much NZ lost on the exit there. So now we have precisely one battle on track. That battle is between Lucky Nutshot and Days. Lucky Nutshot is, I think, just about holding on with the DRS. Of course he is on the hard tyres here. Days' pace relatively is only going to get worse unfortunately as this race goes on. But we can hope that he might close in on Nipio and have a little bit of a fight here. We would love that, because in all the races so far we've only really had one good fight at the front, and that was, well, one good fight that I've witnessed, and that was in Italy, where we had 4 cars all in with a chance right up until the very end, if you ignore 3-second penalties. Speaking of 3-second penalties, one of those could really spice this up here, with the gap at 3.7 at the moment, as it actually looks like Lucky Nutshot is closing in on the Red Bull of Days here, and he's going to go for it maybe the main DRS games here, which is interesting because the detection zone is after the corner, so they don't know that now because it's just it. But nonetheless, he's going to DRS as Days doesn't have much to do with it. But nonetheless, he gets side by side with Sir One and looks like he nuts himself. Sorry about that. So, as it stands, not much has changed. Oh, something has changed. Has F1 CCNZ had a spin here? I think he might have. Unless he's got front wing damage of some kind. I did have to do something for a second there. And it seems the one interesting thing of this race happened when I did it. The Ferrari of that's Big Laudy there was having a great race here. He wasn't even here for qualifying, just showed up for the second restart, and he's doing a great job. Currently in P7. I mean, it's a great showing from him, really. F1 CCNZ has definitely had an incident, as he's lost about. Has he had a pit stop? Oh, that's what happened. Right, okay, sorry, I really need to pay more attention. So F1 CCNZ has opted for a pit stop with 8 laps to go. That's an interesting strategy. I don't think that's particularly going to work out too well. I'm guessing it wasn't intentional, in all honesty. But Days has responded. Days, who was on the mediums, in fairness. But he is now going to have 8 laps to chase down second place. Second place who, albeit, is 22 seconds ahead of him. It's not impossible. A podium's, I wouldn't say likely, with how tyre wear in this game isn't too drastic. But Days certainly could be in a good position here. 5th, nonetheless, is not bad at all, and he has come out ahead of F1 CCNZ, who did also opt for a pit stop. The new reserve of Xerox is having a great race so far, up in 4th. He's done a great job here. And we finally got the lovely camera again. As you can see, how EA loves to design the outside of the tracks more than Spa on the main track. Anyway, let's have a look at Mapio. I mean, I think he's having a great time out front, just nicely going along. He's got 5.5 seconds behind him. The nearest car will most likely be his teammate of Back 2 anytime soon. Back 2's, must be said, not having his best races. He's gone a tad bit wide there, and a bit wide again. Some questionable lines here. Possibly the most interesting thing we've seen in this race so far. I just wonder, how many penalties has he got? 6 seconds in a track where there is more walls than off. It's quite impressive, honestly. Speaking of penalties, actually, Hyper has got a 5-second penalty for speeding. That is certainly going to make his chances of keeping that podium a little more difficult. Certainly up on the grabs for Xerox. Definitely on the mediums. And a great chance of setting the fastest lap. Where, in this league, every point does count. Unless you're in a wall, like Magnus. Which is kind of what happens a lot of the time. He has great pace at some tracks. Here's one of them, China's another. China is one of the up and coming rounds. But it's not quite materialised. Ricky X, Championship P2 man, is having a bit of a quieter race down in P8 at the moment. Still solid points, but with his championship rival Mipio out front, that's certainly not ideal. And Back 2 has finally been put a lap down, and to go with it, he's got another penalty, and has now reached 11 seconds. Not his proudest moment, it must be said. Oh, and the front to go with it. The gap out front is staying relatively stable. which is exactly what we don't want to happen, exactly what Mipio does want to happen. If he wins this race, which I'll be honest, it looks pretty likely at this point, he'll have won every single race he's competed in, which is a pretty impressive feat, it must be said. Let's see, is there a last lap thing you can look at? No. Shall we see the race director? Nothing's happening on track. We'll have a look at the race director. Some top quality commentary here. So, what is Mipio doing? So far, 33-1, 32-8, 32-8, 32-8. He's pretty consistent out front. And if we compare that to Days, who's done a two-stopper here instead, he's a lot quicker actually, nearly 2 seconds a lap on that last lap. So Days, I mean, he doesn't really have a chance of catching, he's definitely too far away. But he, well, finally something's happened here actually, as we see Days go past the it's a fourth place, as we've got a yellow flag on track. What's happened here? Someone's binned it, and I think it was F1 CCN. This is a yellow flag again. No, it's back to, is it? Yeah, it's back to. Lucky Nutshot is also keeping it consistent in second, and Hyper is keeping it consistent in third. The only person who might have some interest in this race is the other Red Bull on Days. He's gone for a more interesting two-stop, throw something in the air a bit. And Xerox picking up a 3-second time penalty. No one's near him, so I don't think that is his biggest concern, but he's having a brilliant race anyway, so I don't think he's much worried. Now the question is, in a matter of 5.5 laps, can the Red Bull of Days catch his teammate of Hyper? Probably the most consistent duo we've had so far, and it shows because they're P2 in the Constructors' Championship. I think they're P2. Yeah, no, they're P2. So we'll probably see that stay the same, as they will be the Constructor to score, well, they'll score 27 points as it stands. Mipio wins this with the fastest lap, which he has a good chance of. That'll be 26. Days though on those fresher tyres. I wonder, does he have fastest lap at the moment? The fastest lap is, there's a shock. It's held by Magnus. Somehow I'm not surprised by that. As we've had a position change. Nope. Xerox has got interesting decision, but I think he's only going to lose the one position to F1 CCNT, but he might have stayed ahead of F1 CCNT, so I'm not quite sure why he's chosen to do that. Regardless though, Days is lapping pretty quickly. He's definitely not going to get near Mipio. He almost certainly will get near Nutshot. But I think we have a very, he's 1.2 seconds away from the penalty range of his teammate. But I'm sure he wants to beat him on track, because why wouldn't you want to beat him on track? It's pretty certain we've got one Red Bull on the podium here. The only question in this race is which one it is, because nothing else is happening. I mean, the closest gap is 5.8 seconds. That's fun. What are we meant to watch here? Yeah. I mean, I can't really give you as much to watch here, all 5 of you. Nothing is happening. But Days is still he is closing in on his teammate by about a second a lap with the fresher mediums. He's only 6 tenths away now from his teammate's penalty range. And his teammate has now picked up a 3-second time penalty, so he is in his penalty range. And now There is literally no positions that can change. We can't say, ooh, what if Hayes will catch or not? Will he get in the penalty zone? No, he's in it by 3.5 seconds. At least we have the thought of, will he catch? Will he not? Will we get an amazing fight between the two Red Bull teammates? Chances are they won't want to murder each other, and we'll just consolidate the P3 and P4. But you never know, maybe we'll have some on-track action that I don't miss. Well, actually, we do. Let's just have a lovely game. The Alfa Romeo lucky nut shot, who is about to land. The Williams are back to point zero. If only it was the Williams who were approaching, then we would have a fight to watch. I mean, depending on how you look at it, on target the Williams 1-2. If you forget the lap that back 2 seems to have lost. My back 2 seems to have lost his AI car because he's not using it. And now, looking at shot, has back 2. That's a bullet. Oh god, where's back 2? Oh, he's really far behind. I didn't quite realise how bad that was. No, it's the Alpine of Burt who seems to have disconnected, unfortunately. So that's not ideal for him. Is there anything that's happening at the moment? We've got a yellow flag. Something's happening. Is it back to again? Oh. Is he running? No, he's just decided that green is the gear to go. I mean, back two's. He's not quite near the next car. He's about to be lapped for the second time by his teammate. I'm sure that means... No, this is for the first time. He somehow got second. Is it the first time? I'm very confused. That was... we should go in a bit laps. You see, now he's just giving it a go. A bit of a slipstream. I had a feeling back to his already laps. Maybe he wasn't. I really do not know. I'm very sorry. I have a feeling the Delta's good. The Delta's average. That one back to his updating. So both of them, yeah, I think every car is looking at that. How about it goes? Ferrari of Big Laudy has had a bit of a spin there. He's lost position to Ricky X. Oh, he's binned it. Well, I think I spoke too soon there. He did definitely have a spin. And then he had none. And now he is firmly in the wall. I think we might have some decent go. That is a lovely camera. You see, the game looks nice sometimes. It's very odd. My voice is going again. But Ricky X, his recovery drive continues. He's now up to P7 on the soft tyres too, so he might just get fastest lap. Though I have a feeling it's still held by Magnus. It is. That lap he did early on in this race was, I mean, it was pretty good. Regardless, Mipio and his teammate are now inside each other. Interesting one right there. The Alfa Romeo of Lucky Nutshot has a very solid race. He's had very good pace, just been losing a tenth here or there to Mipio throughout, but he's had a brilliant race so far as we head on to the final lap. The Red Bull of Hyper is going to lose out to his teammate after penalties, but I don't think Day's going to manage to catch him on track. F1 CCNZ after an extra pit stop, I think that was wing damage for him, has recovered to P5, which is a lot better than the DNF he had in restart number 1. The Aston Martin of Xerox has had a great first race here as well. He's done a brilliant job, it must be said. Ricky X, not the race he wanted at all. He got spun around early on, but he's had a decent recovery. But oh, of course, we've still got Burt. The man who, I mean, he disconnected quite a while ago, but he's going to get some points anyway. Purely because, well, we've had that many bins it. But it's all eyes that matter, that are on Mipio, as he's coming round the final corner now. He won in Hungary, he won again in Italy, and he's gonna win here again for the third time consecutively. Mipio wins in Tier 2 at Saudi Arabia, and he continues his streak of winning every single race that he has entered. Now it's 75 points for him in the championship. I don't think he got the fastest lap, but I'm sure he can be happy with that. Lucky Nutshot comes home for a great second place. The Red Bull of Days does in the end get third after penalties, followed by Hyper, who did finish ahead on track. No, he didn't. Hyper, what? Have I got them the wrong way around? Well, Hyper's behind on track, but I think he finished second place. F1 CCNZ recovers to P5. The Aston Martin of Xerox gets the fastest lap in the end, and he finishes P6 on his Tier 2 debut. Ricky X, not the race he wanted, it must be said. He is not yet finished, but he will be in P7 no matter what happens, as every car behind him has already finished being a lap down. Bert, despite not even being here for all the races, scored some good points too, and Back2 did things slowly and questionably, but I'm sure he had fun while doing them. But Ricky X will finally cross the line to finish 7th, but it's Mipio on top once again. So you let him by, okay. So Hyper let Days by. I'm not sure what that achieves, because they would have finished the same order regardless, but still. It was, I'll be honest, not the Jeddah we expected. Magnus kind of ruined that by face planting a wall. The game kind of ruined that by forgetting the settings that we put on in the first round, then kicking me from this restart, and we missed the first 5 laps where probably all the action happened. Our pole's here and the quickest man on track. Magnus face planted turn 3. We didn't even see it happen, but it happened that quickly that he lost a 3-second advantage instantaneously. But the final order is Mipio for the 3rd time in a row, and every race he has entered now, he has won. The Alfa Romeo of Lucky Nutshot has had a great podium there. He's certainly going to be happy with that one. He gained quite a lot of time at the end on Mipio. The Red Bull of Days comes home for P3, and Hyper finishes in 4th. One of 2 people to finish where he started. F1 CCNZ in 5th. The newcomer of Xerox in 6th. Rookie X not where he wanted to be in 7th. He's going to lose ground in the championship there. The disconnected car of Bert finishes 8th. That just shows you how many people binned it. Back2 managed to finish 2 laps down on his teammate, but he had fun, I'm sure, and that's what matters. Big Loudy finishes 10th after face planting a wall, along with Nakal, Blitztroop, Magnus and Ginger Coke. That is the running order, and for once I got through the running order. So that has been round 4 of Tier 2. I will not be here next week. Hopefully you have a competent commentator for them. But Mipio is your winner, and good night.